Welcome back, folks, to the Light Ed Online Video Show. This episode of the show is brought to you by Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com, Greg Ehrich.
I wasn't sure if that was a video issue or you were hiding, and it looked like you were.
I was hiding.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, I will go to Keystone. I did today, and I will tomorrow, and I will this afternoon, and we'll keep it going. Check them out. All LED products you need.
Let's do it.
One hot item that has been in the industry that we've been talking about, we've had a number of discussions with, and I keep hearing things about is EV chargers.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So EV chargers are out there. I see some lighting type companies, electrical distributors selling it or attempting to selling it. And it sounds like they are going in. There's some installs going.
There's rebates.
There's rebates. There's big rebates. A lot of times they're covering a lot of the install costs, whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
But should there be rebates? Should there be this mass push for it? Do we know that EV chargers are here to stay? They're going to be the future. Because when I think about it right now, I don't have an EV car or electric vehicle, I should say. I don't have it. I don't have one, and it stresses me out to even think about ever having one until. So maybe I'm answering my own question, but until enough stuff is out there, because right now, if you have one, I'd be so worried about knowing where I could charge again if I didn't own my own charging station. And I would never, like, if it takes 15, 20 minutes to charge a car and I have to wait in line for 15 minutes, I'm out. No way. Not happening. It's like waiting in restaurant line at Applebee's. Not happening. So
Well,
EV
you're talking about
chargers.
range anxiety.
Yeah, probably that. I think that's going to be a big thing with EV electric vehicles and uh, range anxiety, and just knowing that. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me. But is it going to be the future? Is everything going to go that way? Should it go that way?
That's a bigger question that you're asking there.
Right. Right.
So, there's words I'm not allowed to say anymore because of Jane Slade. She said you're not allowed to say these words anymore. But I'm going to say it here
Okay.
on this podcast because Jane's not here. Okay?
All right.
Sometimes ready for it, Scotty? Our axiomatic presuppositions are incorrect. Okay? So basically, our assumptions are wrong, or the place that we're starting from is wrong, right? So in the lighting business, it's like, well, if it saves energy, it's LED, it's 5,000 K, and it makes more light, it's good. We should do as much of that as we can, right? And then it turns out that
Right.
there's all manner of unintended consequences. Are electric vehicles better for the environment than gas-powered vehicles? That question remains unanswered, okay? There's a lot of mining that has to go on to get lithium. There's all manner of components in the vehicles. Do we know for sure? No, we are assuming that if we drive electric cars, that it will be better for the environment. That's an assumption. Do we know that for sure? Well, we're going to have less emissions from the tailpipe. So that must be good, and then we'll figure out the rest. So we don't really know for sure. I just read an article last week that said that, so right now electric vehicles I think are 400 volt charging. They charge at 400 volt.
Uh-huh.
And that's likely to be doubled to 800 volt so that they can charge faster. I don't know if it's 827, it's like 347, 480, whatever. But right now they're like 400 volt or something like that, and they're going to move it to 800 volt, and this will allow for faster charging. Right? Does that mean all that infrastructure that's been put out there is now obsolete? Because that's kind of what happens in lighting.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
And
it's like
EV is a lot more expensive than a light fixture. When you think about the cost that goes into it.
Sure. And so it's like there's like this idea of future-proof bumbling. Like as soon as someone says future-proof, what they're talking about is let's bumble it up, right? Let's pretend we can predict the future. So, the other thing is like, do we have enough electricity? So I'll give you an example. If everybody in Ontario got an electric car today, okay, the cost of electricity in Ontario would go down. Why is that? Well, because Ontario has too much electricity. We make too much electricity, and we have to pay other jurisdictions to take it from us. So Ontario is a good place to have electric vehicles pursuant to the grid, okay? Other places where you're burning coal or natural gas to make electricity, Well, what's the comparison? What's the carbon equivalent of gasoline to that, and how does that play itself out? And then disposing of the batteries. What kind of pollution do we have on the back end? Do we have the waste streams? Because oftentimes I'm going to be speaking on a panel coming up next month about end of life light fixtures. What's happening? Are we planning for end of life? Has the planning for end of life of batteries, all these components in these cars, been planned for? Where are all these batteries going to go? Can they be recycled? Or is it like plastic that after it's virgin to non-virgin, it becomes much less valuable? Like there's something in the virgin lithium that's better than the post-use lithium. Or, does it have to be ground up? Is there pollution involved in that? We don't know. The answer to this question is probably that we don't know. Maybe somebody knows, but not a lot of people know. And we don't know for sure if that person actually knows or not because they're not dealing with that many batteries at this point. But if we do, we're going to be dealing with millions of batteries every year. Millions upon millions upon millions of enormous toxic batteries. Right? Is that a bad thing? Well, instead of going into the air, now we have it in solid. So maybe it's better. I don't know. When it comes to the whole EV charging thing, we heard we talked to a fellow yesterday who said, yes, we're making these programs more equitable because we're giving $10,000 for an EV charger in a rich neighborhood, and we're giving $20,000 for an EV charger in a poor neighborhood. So it's equitable. Well, you know what I said to that, right? Yeah, because everybody that is on food stamps is lining up to buy a Tesla. I heard that happening, right? Come on, get a grip, right? So this idea that electric vehicles are the wave of the future and all this sort of stuff, this is people dreaming up solutions, right? They're sitting there, they're dreaming up solutions. We don't know what the unintended consequences are. Should people sell them? Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, when it comes to distribution, we're not here to tell anybody what's up, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe on the Light That Online video show.
Yeah. No, that's just the thing. It seems like it's out there, and I was just curious where people are at, but we're getting after it, and we might as well sell it. People want it, sell it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so like the UVC argument's probably the best comparison. Like, a year and a half ago, what did you know about surface disinfection using push around carts? And nothing, right? Mm-hmm. But you sold a bunch of push around carts that did UV, right? Right. Like distributors are not there to tell people what's up. That's not our role. Now, maybe the Light That Online video show is, but I don't get into it with people on the counter or on the phone about whatever it is they want to buy. If you want to buy 25 charging stations from me, you want them installed, wham, bam, ding, dong, fill out the paperwork, get the rebate. That's how it works. So my advice to distributors is, yeah, man, if you got big rebates in your market and you can hook up with Bosch or ChargePoint or one of these companies out there. We had a guy on the show, hook up with them and sell some chargers. I don't see a problem with it. You asked me, though, if that's the future. I don't know, man. A lot of gas cars out there, brother.
A lot of range anxiety to be had.
Yeah, there's something about that's problematic, for sure. But hey, if I get a call in and I have 10 chargers in the back, I'll ship them. Ship them out, right?
Done deal.
Pretty easy to do. So yeah, I mean. In that respect, I'll take my 10, 15, 20, 50 points on the charger and sell it for sure. But like that 800 volt, 400 volt, how does that work? Now you need 800 volts of juice going into that car. That's a big cord, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine the cord that handles 800 volts of electricity. You're going to have that in your hand?
Right.
Plug that in here. Right? It's like, whoa, okay, charge that thing in 10 seconds. The juice is going in, right? Whatever. That's what they want to be able to do, right? Charge it like in 2 minutes, like you're gassing up your car. Plug it in, boom, hit it with a big juice of electrical juice, and off you go. Get another 200 miles or whatever it is. So maybe. Let's go. Folks, this has been the Light That Online video show. It's brought to you by Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com. That's right. Keep it easy.